Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling strangely drained, like something wasn't right, but you couldn't explain exactly why? The truth is, disrespect is rarely loud. Most people don't insult you directly. They don't openly attack you. Instead, they reveal their lack of respect through subtle actions that are easy to miss. But once you see them, you can't unsee them. And the most dangerous part, these behaviors often come from people closest to you. Friends, co-workers, even family members. In today's video, we'll uncover 5 silent actions that instantly expose disrespect. And number 5 is something many people experience every day without realizing it. Let's begin. Respect isn't just about how people treat you when everything is going well. It's revealed in the small moments, the moments nobody talks about. Psychologists often point out that human behavior communicates far more than words ever can. That's why learning to recognize subtle signs of disrespect can help you protect your confidence, your boundaries, and your peace of mind. So let's start with the first silent action. 1. They constantly interrupt you. Imagine you're sharing a story. You barely finish your first sentence, and suddenly they jump in. They change the subject. They redirect attention to themselves, or they cut you off completely. Now, everyone interrupts occasionally. That's normal. But when someone repeatedly interrupts you, it sends a powerful message. The message is, what I have to say matters more than what you have to say. Psychologists call this conversational dominance. It's often used consciously or unconsciously to establish social power. The person may not realize they're doing it, but the effect remains the same. Over time, constant interruptions make you feel invisible. You begin speaking less, sharing less, and questioning whether your thoughts are valuable at all. Respectful people listen. They allow you to finish. They show curiosity. They make space for your voice. Disrespectful people compete for attention, and they often reveal that through interruption rather than outright criticism. Pay attention to who consistently lets you finish your thoughts, and who doesn't. Because listening is one of the purest forms of respect. 2. They ignore. Small boundaries. Disrespect rarely starts with major violations. It usually begins with small ones. Maybe you say you're busy, yet they keep calling. Maybe you ask them not to joke about a certain topic, yet they continue doing it. Maybe you say no, and they keep pushing for a yes. These behaviors may seem minor, but they reveal something important. Respectful people recognize your boundaries. Disrespectful people test them, sometimes repeatedly. Why? Because boundaries define how you expect to be treated. When someone constantly ignores them, they're communicating that their desires matter more than your comfort. And the scary part is that many people excuse this behavior. They say, they didn't mean it. They were just joking. It's not a big deal. But healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, and respect includes honoring boundaries, even when they're inconvenient. People who truly respect you don't need to be reminded over and over again. One clear boundary should be enough. 3. They give you their attention. Only when it benefits them. Think about the people in your life who only seems interested when they need something. Maybe they disappear for weeks, months, sometimes even longer. Then suddenly they return, not because they miss you, not because they care, but because they need a favor, need advice, need support, need access to something you can provide. This behavior exposes a transactional mindset. The relationship becomes less about connection and more about convenience. Psychologists often refer to this as instrumental behavior. The person values what you can do for them more than who you are. And over time, that can become emotionally exhausting. A respectful relationship involves reciprocity. Both people invest. Both people show interest. Both people make an effort. You shouldn't feel like an emergency contact that only matters during someone else's crisis. Notice who checks on you when they don't need anything. Those people often reveal genuine respect. 4. They dismiss your achievements with silence. Most people expect criticism from enemies, but disrespect often appears in a more subtle form. Silence. Imagine sharing exciting news. Maybe you got promoted, started a business, reached a fitness goal, or achieved something you've worked hard for. Instead of celebrating with you, the other person changes the subject, gives a one-word response, or acts completely uninterested. Why does this happen? Sometimes it's jealousy, sometimes insecurity, sometimes resentment. But regardless of the reason, the behavior reveals something important. People who respect you can celebrate your success without feeling threatened by it. They don't compete with your accomplishments, they don't minimize them, and they don't pretend they never happened. Healthy relationships have room for everyone's victories. When someone consistently goes quiet whenever good things happen to you, pay attention. Because support isn't only measured during hard times, it's also measured during your best moments. 5a. They make you feel like you need to earn basic respect. This may be the most damaging sign of all. Some people treat respect as if it's a prize that must be earned over and over again. Instead of giving you basic courtesy and dignity, they make their respect conditional. They treat you well only when you're useful to them, only when you're succeeding, only when you're agreeing with their opinions, only when you're meeting their expectations. As long as you're making their life easier, everything seems fine. But the moment you make a mistake, set a boundary, disagree with them, or stop giving them what they want, their attitude changes. Suddenly they're colder, less patient, more critical, more dismissive, and sometimes they even make you feel guilty for not living up to their standards. Over time, this creates an unhealthy emotional cycle. You begin working harder and harder to gain their approval. You start monitoring everything you say and do. You become afraid of disappointing them, and without realizing it, you begin tying your self-worth to their validation. Psychologists often describe this as conditional regard. It's when acceptance and respect are given only when certain expectations are met. The problem is that no one can maintain perfection forever. Eventually, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has flaws. Everyone has moments when they fall short. That's why genuine respect is different. Real respect doesn't disappear when someone disagrees with you. It doesn't vanish when you fail. And it doesn't depend on how useful you are. A truly respectful person can challenge your ideas without attacking your worth. They can be disappointed without treating you like you matter less. Because respect isn't supposed to be a reward. It's supposed to be a foundation. Anyone who constantly makes you feel like you must earn basic human dignity is revealing something important. They're showing that their respect is conditional. And relationships built on conditional respect rarely feel safe, healthy, or truly supportive in the long run. So let's recap. Someone may be silently disrespecting you if they constantly interrupt you, ignore your boundaries, only give attention when it benefits them, dismiss your achievements, and make you feel like you must earn basic respect. Remember, disrespect is rarely obvious. It often hides in everyday interactions. Small comments, small behaviors, small moments, but those moments reveal how people truly see you. The good news is this: you don't have to convince anyone to respect you. You don't have to chase validation. And you don't have to tolerate behavior that repeatedly diminishes your value. The people who genuinely respect you will listen, honor your boundaries, celebrate your wins, and treat you with dignity even when they disagree with you. Because real respect isn't loud, it's consistent. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Which of these 5 silent actions do you see most often in everyday life? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.